Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, this is Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. And man, oh man, has it been rough for video game adaptations over there at Netflix, at least for the fans anyway, out there, from all of the insanity we've had with Castlevania out there to, of course, the Devil May Cry series, and of course, the wonderful addition of Lara Croft Tomb Raider over there, who had the perfect live action actress in Haley Atwell, who for some reason they are using as a voice actress, which I will never understand. But needless to say, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, at least that error is coming to an ending. And yes, I know we've got the Amazon Tomb Raider series, despite some of the rumors out there, despite all of the other ones that were now officially confirmed by the announcement, it will still be coming to fruition. But at least one devastating destruction to the, of course, wonderful legacy of Tomb Raider will be finally coming to an end, because it was announced at the end of the week last week as part of the Friday news dump that Netflix's Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft, is canceled after season 2. And boys and girls, once we get into some of the things said about this, and of course, if you don't remember, you can go check out some of my older videos about some of the clips we saw from this series as to why the fans went nope, as well as the ratings as to why Netflix was like, yeah, no, we're completely and totally finished with this. We're not renewing your contract. 2 seasons are all we're doing, because just like a lot of companies out there, it's cheaper to order 2 seasons of animation than try to bring everybody back if your first season is successful. So boys and girls, it looks like despite so much critical acclaim from all of the activist media out there, Tomb Raider is over at Netflix. So we're going to check out this article over here from Fandom Pulse as well. You've got the Variety article and the Deadline article, but they don't mention any of the reasons as to why this show was possibly canceled, which of course John F. Trent gives us. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2,100. We're inching our way closer and closer to 22. I think we're sitting at like 2,192 on our journey to 100,000, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Let me know what you think about all this. Does it surprise you at all that Netflix canceled this series? Did you give it a shot because you're a big Tomb Raider fan and you thought it might actually be able to pull this off? Were you disappointed by what you saw from the series, or are you one of the fans out there that actually watched this and seemed to enjoy it? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. As always, all opinions are welcome. And if you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. All right, from Fandom Pulse and our dear sweet John F. Trent. Netflix's Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft, will not continue after the show's upcoming 2nd season. A report from Denise Pedkitsy at Deadline states, the Netflix animated series will conclude with the upcoming 2nd season, which will premiere on December 11th, sources confirmed to Deadline. And Variety also said this was an exclusive. Apparently they heard about it first, and Deadline used their own sources to confirm exactly what Variety had already talked about out there, boys and girls. The series was confirmed to receive a 2nd season back in October, which of course made all of the activist fans go, yay! And now we all get to go, ha ha, with the official Tomb Raider site announcing, and we're thrilled to announce the season 2 is confirmed. Given the announcement stated that the 2nd season was confirmed rather than renewed, it's quite possible that a 2nd season was always planned and even part of the initial deal to begin with. Like I said, people asked this several times over and over again. Why did Velma get a 2nd season over there at HBO Max when it clearly wasn't working and David Zaslav was in the process of slashing and tossing projects left and right? Because a lot of the time, with how expensive animation is to do, it's cheaper to do 2 seasons. I know it sounds crazy, but it's cheaper just to go ahead and do 2 seasons on the off chance that something might be successful. You'll know that after the 1st season. And while the 2nd season is premiering, you can get the band back together, get them the money they need to do to come back, and get them working on a 3rd one. All right, that's why they do this. That's why Velma got a 2nd season. That's why, despite Tomb Raider's abysmal ratings, which we're going to get into here in just a second, this thing still got a 2nd season. It's not surprising the show will end after its 2nd season. The 1st season did not chart on Netflix's top 10 most watched English language TV shows when it was released back in October 2024. And you know, for some reason, I didn't think about doing this to begin with, but let's pull this up real quick over on our dear sweet Rotten Tomatoes, because I'd love to see what the audience score on this is, and we'll let it load in the background while we go check out the ratings on this. We're doing it live, boys and girls. We're doing it live. But I'm just kind of curious as to see what the audience thought about this series. Well, they had it pulled up there for us initially. There it is. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, there's the real reason why it's canceled. Audience score, 33%. Can we title this video Fan-Hated Tomb Raider Adaptation from Netflix Canceled? Yeah, with a 33% audience score overall. Yeah, I think we can confirm that one. And how do we know that that's completely and totally legit? Look at the ratings, boys and girls. It failed to chart. The first season did not chart on Netflix's top 10 most watched English language TV shows when it was released back in October of 2024. And this is Netflix's own top 10, okay? This isn't Nielsen. This isn't Samba. This is Netflix's own internal personal top 10 list. Yeah, Outer Banks, Nobody Wants This, Monsters, Love is Blind, The Amazing Digital Circus, Ali Wong, Heartstopper, The Perfect Couple, Unsolved Mysteries Volume 5, Prison Break Season 1, Reruns, boys and girls, beat the Tomb Raider adaptation. I wonder why the activist Tomb Raider series, the woke Tomb Raider series, got canceled. It also failed to chart in its second week, performing worse than the animated Gundam Requiem for a Vengeance Season 1, which brought in 2.4 million views, which I don't know much about Gundam. I am just your humble common nerd after all. But I watched a couple of episodes of it, and it didn't really capture me, didn't get really excited to continue. A couple of my buddies out there that know Gundam a lot better than me said it's worth getting through a few of the first episodes. But yeah, it's not exactly great when it comes to all of the legendary Gundam stuff we have out there. So boys and girls, is it any shocker out there that the Lara Croft Tomb Raider series at Netflix is getting canceled? No. Because 2 + 2 still equals 4. The audience hated it, and the ratings reflected that. The show was also lampooned by pop culture critic, The Critical Drinker, aka the guy who's the Hollywood actually knows his name. He said, aside from the god-awful Resident Evil series that I'm still having therapy for, I don't think I've seen any show misuse its source material in such spectacular fashion before. Yeah, all you had to do was watch the trailer for that Netflix Resident Evil series to know exactly what you were getting in for. Shout out to Drinker for suffering through all of that for us. Tomb Raider is an effing embarrassment that shames the very name of Lara Croft, sacrifices characters and story integrity to work in the tedious and cringy tropes of modern writing. Because of course they did. See our older videos on that stuff. Wastes its talented voice cast on clunky dialogue and rams it all home with crappy animation that looks about 20 years out of date. Given a lot of modern animation isn't exactly great these days, boys and girls. I roast this stuff all the time. But yeah, this isn't exactly game-changing out there. And especially with all the money Netflix puts behind things, you'd think you could have done a little bit better. In short, it's a boring and pandering mess that proves once again why Lara Croft absolutely cannot be adapted for modern audiences. Just like the majority of franchises can't, just like Marvel can't, just like Star Wars can't. And at the end of the day, it's not even about adapting it for a modern audience. They adapted it very well for a modern audience. The modern audience that they chase, that mythical modern audience, doesn't exist. If that were the case, the Rotten Tomatoes score wouldn't be 33%. The ratings wouldn't be in the toilet. Marvel wouldn't have lost billions of dollars. Star Wars wouldn't be a dead franchise. DC wouldn't be digging itself out of the hole that the creatives prior to the people that are in charge now dug themselves into. Okay? This is exactly what it comes down to. There is no such thing as a modern audience. Okay? Are there small, screaming psychopaths, little cult members out there on the internet? Sure. Do they amount to any number to make anything successful after spending hundreds of millions of dollars on a television show? No. They are a poor investment They do not give you a return. They were nothing more than smoke and mirrors from the get-go. And the Tomb Raider series from Netflix is just the latest example of that. It failed to resonate with fans. It failed to resonate with general audiences, and it failed to chart on Netflix's series. His own ratings. Their own ratings, boys and girls, not in competition with anything else, on their own platform. And we know Netflix has no problem cutting things left and right, despite what some small fan groups out there might yell and cry about. And at the end of the day, Go Woke, Go Broke exists for a reason. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, the fan-hated, woke Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft is dead at Netflix, exactly as it deserves to be. It never deserved to exist at all. It's not what the fans want. And now, at least in some small part, boys and girls, one more damaging storytelling to the absolute incredible legacy of Lara Croft is over. Because after all, fans decide. And fans decided they didn't want your activist version of Tomb Raider. And now it's dead. A big shout out to all of our subscribers and members out there. Thanks for watching, and make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already.